Hey everyone, my name is Christine and welcome to today's video, which is going to be basically an all-day cook with me, food prep kind of a thing, sort of. Now around here, things are getting busy outside. I'm spending a lot of my afternoons outside in my garden and playing with my kids and things like that. So by the time it's time for dinner, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 5 o'clock. We want to eat now, or like I haven't started something. And also in the mornings, I've been starting my runs around 7:30, which is about when the kids eat breakfast. And so I want like quick and easy breakfasts as well. So we're gonna kind of do some dinner prep, vegetable prep to make sure we're eating all that health, all of the vitamins, all of the nutrients, and also getting rid of some things in my house that should probably be gotten rid of. So this is just to make the next coming week easier. I am gonna start with banana bread because I have these. They're very, very sad looking. But I figured if I made 2 loaves of banana bread right now, I could use that for breakfast tomorrow morning. So that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna do because my banana bread takes so long to cook. So I have my bosh out, I have my flour, my sugar, and I know you guys are gonna ask about where I got these containers. People ask me this all the time. So any tool that you see in this entire video, I will link down below in the description box for you. So if you are interested, you can go purchase it if you want. These are called Lustroware and Amazon does indeed have these. Stock number B892. Okay, great. Now, if you guys want the full banana bread recipe, I have an entire video and a link to my website with this recipe on it. Once you try this, you'll never go back, I promise. First thing is I'm gonna preheat my oven and I guess get on an apron or I'm gonna ruin my shirt. Yes, okay. Now we are ready. Hey, remember I'm doubling this, so this is gonna make 2 loaves. 1 cup of butter. I meant to start this video today, like way earlier in the day, but I'm telling you, the kids are like all up in my grill all the time. I had to wait until this afternoon, so I had some quiet. I think the 2 little boys are on the trampoline outside, and Dave just took Haley for a drive. She's getting super close on her hours. Are you leaving?
We even left, yeah. We're in the garage still.
Oh, okay.
But we're leaving right now. Do you know where my sunglasses are? I keep hanging them up on the hook and they keep moving.
Are they on that front table? Huh. Man, I always forget to plug this in. What does the matter with me? 4 eggs? Uh-oh, my kid's crying.
Both of them.
No, not both, just Ryan.
Oh.
I think Ryan got kneed in the face. Oh, now they're hugging. Ryan still looks upset. Is he gonna get over it? Oh good, Dad's out there. Okay. I was wondering if I needed to go out and see what was going on. Dave's out there monitoring the situation. Excellent. Since these are medium eggs, I'm gonna do 1 more. Okay, now mix again. 4 cups of flour. So what I typically do, don't let me lose count here though, while I tell you this. 1 is I usually buy like the 50-pound bag of flour. 2, and store it in a 5-gallon bucket, I think, or something like that. Is that what it's called? 5-gallon bucket? And then I have the rest in this. 3. So when this is empty, I can refill this with my 5-gallon bucket. So I actually always have sugar and flour because that's how I store all of these bulk items. I do the same with flour, wheat, white sugar, oats usually, but not right now. I don't have very many. And rice typically. Get low in the rice too. But flour and sugar, I do have enough of. Okay, 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. This recipe is so easy. It's amazing, it's so good. Actually, I know why it's so good. It's because of the amount of sugar it has in it. I think I dripped egg on my shoe. Now it's the time to add our vanilla and bananas. So if you've been to my channel before, you know I don't measure vanilla, and if you haven't, well, get ready for a treat. I think that looks good. I love vanilla, so I like to use more than normal, and I need 6 bananas. Wow, that one is very sad. Is that salvageable? Okay, there are 6 bananas. Oh, I got 3 left still. I might freeze those too. These are so soft. They're basically banana juice. So for those that don't know, I actually developed, I believe it's called oral allergy syndrome. Later in life, you guys can look it up if you want, because I developed an allergy to bananas in my mid-20s. I used to be able to eat them all the time, but after I had Andrew, for some reason, I got super sick when I eat bananas. Actually started noticing a couple of other things that are beginning to be added to that list. Just in the last year or so, I have the same symptoms when I eat, are you ready for this? Spinach. I did that this week and it was a bad experience. Anyway, I get super sick when I eat bananas mostly, but spinach is beginning to be that way. Not when I touch it, when I ingest it. So I haven't eaten bananas in about 10 years. I think I tried to eat one like 5 years ago, like one bite, but I had the exact same symptoms and I was like, not worth it. But once they're cooked, I can eat them. Like it changes the proteins in the food and doesn't affect me anymore. So I can eat banana bread, but I can't eat bananas. And I can't eat bananas in a smoothie either. Weird, right? I'm gonna bake this in my long skinny pans. And I get asked about these all the time. I originally got these from IKEA, but IKEA is closed right now, at least for me. And they're really far away, but I will link similar ones down below. You can pick them up on Amazon, shipped right to your house. You can totally use regular sized pans though, also. 350 degrees for about an hour. Next up, I'm going to actually prep dinner for the next 2 nights. So I got out the rest of my freezer burned chicken from my freezer. This is the last of the old chicken. I officially have no old chicken anymore. And you can tell it's freezer burned because the coloring's off a little bit, but if you flavor it with enough stuff, it's actually okay to eat. It's not unsafe, it just changes the texture and flavor a little bit. Now mine wasn't too bad. I've let it sit in this bowl for a couple of hours. It's still mostly frozen. And what I'm going to do, there's 4 breasts in here, is I'm going to slice them in half this way. It's actually fairly easy to do when they're frozen, because I find the marinade penetrates better and also cooks more evenly. I hate cooking on the grill, like these really thick chicken breasts. They cook too much on the outside, they're dry, the inside's not cooked appropriately. I hate that. So I've actually been cutting it this way for 10 years, very long time. So we're gonna marinate this actually. That knife might not be strong enough. Hold up, I'm getting a different knife. I like that other knife, it's the fillet knife for when it's thawed all the way, but it is not. So, are all of my knives dirty? Of course, I don't usually use this one, but we'll see. I think all of my knives are in the dishwasher. Oh, good times. Yeah, definitely easier when it's thawed all the way, for sure. Oh, that's still really frozen. You know what, I might pop that in the microwave for a quick defrost, because that's like really frozen. Okay, now my cutting board is moving. Having a hard time all around. This is so not my favorite knife. If you guys have never tried this cut the chicken in half trick, highly recommend. I just flung chicken ice all over the counter. Okay, when you work with chicken, make sure you clean everything thoroughly. You don't want anybody getting any salmonella. Now we're gonna pour our marinade on these, and I'm gonna stick these in the outside fridge. Hopefully they'll thaw all the way by tomorrow. I might wait 2 days. I might let them marinate for 2 days in the fridge because they're still half frozen. I just wanna make sure, you know what I'm saying? Today I'm using these Food Network Kitchens flavorings. I have this orange citrus that I used in a previous video that was so good. If you guys haven't seen my, I think it was my 3 healthy meals video, basically hot meat on cold salad for 3 different nights. This was really good. You can use any McCormick grill mates, those are amazing. Salt and pepper is always good. So let's do, this is half a bottle on that one. And I'm gonna use this whole bottle, I thought I had more chicken. Maybe half the bottle on that one, half the bottle on that one. And depending on when it thaws, I might grill all these up tomorrow or the next night. The orange citrus will be one dinner, and then this Parmesan Caesar will be the other dinner. I just really like having marinated, thawed out meat ready to throw on the grill this time of year. It makes dinner so easy. Even if you don't wanna make a salad or whatever, wow, that is really thick. That is thick, there we go. Even if you don't wanna make a salad to eat these with, you can absolutely like roast up some green beans or asparagus or whatever your favorite vegetable is. In fact, I made an air fryer recipe video just recently. I'll link that as well. And you can serve that on the side and it's like lickety split fast. It's so fast. Throw it on the grill, get your veggies roasting, boom, done. Some saran wrap, and we are done with the chicken, and we'll move on to the other prep. You know, if you're struggling to eat healthy, I found chicken breast recently at my local grocery store. Albertsons. And you know, I think it was so cheap at Albertsons because It seems like because everyone's trying to go to one store recently, or maybe doing a pickup order from Walmart, or just getting everything at Sam's Club or Costco or something like that, the smaller grocery stores are struggling with their sales and they have a surplus of some foods. So my local Albertsons just a couple days ago had boneless, skinless chicken breasts, $1.49 a pound. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.49 a pound. You guys, that is so dang cheap for a really healthy, lean protein. Get all of them, marinate all of them, and grill all of them. You can't go wrong. Man, that chicken didn't take me any time at all. Okay, I'm gonna go put these in the fridge. I'll be right back. Next up, I have an assortment of veggies. So I have half of a Napa cabbage, 1 head of iceberg, this huge thing of organic kale, a couple of cukes, and a couple of tomatoes. So I'm gonna mix up kind of one big green salad, but I'm gonna divvy it into 2 nights. So we'll use one as a side dish for tonight, and then the rest of it is going to be used with some of that chicken that we just did. We'll put the chicken on top of the salad, just like a Caesar chicken salad, essentially. And I'm going to clean all of my greens in my OXO salad spinner. If you guys have not checked one of these out, I will leave a link down below for you. It's like one of my favorite purchases I've ever made, because I used to break salad spinners. And so I just went without them because I'm like, oh, I always break them, what a hassle. No, this one I have yet to break, so I'm really excited about that. So all of these veggies actually picked up almost 3 weeks ago in my last once a month grocery shopping trip. So all of these have lasted for 3 weeks at this point in my refrigerator, which is amazing. I think I'm gonna do small shreds of the cabbage. No, my kids are more likely to eat it, you know. Actually really surprised at how long the tomatoes lasted, honestly. But cabbage and an iceberg or kale, those really last a long time. So don't be scared to get more than one and keep it in the fridge for a few weeks. Like, I'm kind of at the tail end of a lot of my fresh produce at this point. So I'm gonna start turning to my frozen veggies that I had picked up, some canned veggies, to get me through the final week, because I do have another produce order opening up, I believe, next week. If you guys live in my area and you wanna know what it is and to join the mailing list, go ahead and drop me an email. My email's down below, because I love to support local businesses, especially right now. And the produce is just so great. A lot of it's a good price, some of it's not. You gotta pick and choose. Really happy to support that. But if you guys haven't seen that last video, my big grocery shopping video, I'll put it up here or something. The trick with getting your kids to eat kale is, first of all, don't tell them what it is. Just kidding. I try not to lie to my kids. So when they're like, ooh, what's this? I actually try and tell them what it is. That way, like, I've been telling my kids that they've been eating spinach since they were 2. So now they're actually not scared of spinach. They're like, oh, it's spinach, I've had that. But if you cut it really, really small and mix it with other stuff that they like, they'll be way more likely to eat it. All right, so I'm gonna start cleaning off my lettuce in my salad spinner. Okay, finishing up with my last lettuce. Here's my bowl so far. It looks really small on camera. This is a very large bowl. Well, don't compare it to my head. I have a big head.
Your favorite person's here. We got 45 minutes in.
Good.
We went to Maymay's house.
Look the same? Will you help me? Well, I wish I could, but I don't want to.
Oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to.
Best vegetable peeler ever. This cucumber doesn't stand a chance.
Excuse me, sir? Sir?
Sir! Do you guys like your cucumbers sliced this way or this way and then this way? I like them big, but Dave doesn't love cucumbers, so I try and cut them kind of small for him.
Oh my gosh, it smells good.
I know. I kind of like to cut up the tomatoes and cucumbers fresh the day of, right? Like, the lettuce is good, already prepped, but for the day of the salad, that's when I like to cut these. Otherwise, I feel like it gets soggy. So here's my 3, my cabbage, my kale, and my lettuce. So just gonna do a little mix-a-roo, and then I'm gonna take maybe half of this and put it in a Tupperware with some paper towels and stick it in the fridge. And then the rest is gonna be a side dish for tonight. There, that's for tonight. Andrew, will you stick that on the table? That's for tonight, thank you. What should we make next? I think we're gonna do French toast for breakfast. Okay, I have these 2 loaves of bread. I just went to my discount bread store, like my bakery outlet. If you guys want to see if you have one in your area, just Google bakery outlet near me or whatever it is, and it should come up. Every town I've lived in has had one so far, and I've lived in some really small towns. So just see what's out there and then see what you can find. Mine is the brand Franz, all of that kind of stuff. They had a special deal. It was 40 cents a loaf. 40 cents a loaf. So I think I got 10 loaves of bread. And a lot of it's in the freezer, but I kept these two out, this Hawaiian one and this milk and honey one, and I thought I can pre-make French toast, stick it in the fridge, and then the kids can eat it throughout the week. So let's make up the French toast right now. Well, I'm gonna clean this up first, and then we'll be back in a second. Welcome to the French toast making station. If you guys have seen any of my other like meal prep videos, actually have not done very many, so maybe I'm only talking about one. I said in that video that I typically don't make French toast very often. I'm not sure why. I feel like it takes way longer than maybe a pancake or a waffle. Maybe that's totally in my head. I don't know. It's something I don't make often, and it's Dave's favorite bread-like breakfast item. When you compare French toast, waffles, and pancakes, Dave prefers this over anything else. So to my kids, this is a really special treat. The way that I like to make French toast is to mix eggs, like a lot of milk or heavy cream or half and half or something, a little bit of sugar, a lot of cinnamon, and a bunch of vanilla as well. Cornstarch is also a nice addition. It gives a nice crust on the outside of the French toast if that's something else that you want to add and play with. I think it tastes way better this way than just your traditional, mostly egg, a little bit of milk, and that's it. Totally fine if you want to do it that way, if you prefer different toppings. I just really like it this way. And I am using coconut oil on my griddle. So while those were cooking, I decided to open 2 packages of bacon to cook in my oven while, like, I already had the oven on from the banana bread. I had pulled it out by this point, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to utilize the oven being on and throw some bacon in for a dinner that I was going to be making the next night. So just trying to do the prep work while I was already in there doing everything. A friend of mine has a baby that is in the NICU about 4 hours away, and she has to stay down there with the baby at the Ronald McDonald House while her family is here with the husband most of the time. So I am taking them like a baked potato soup the day following this filming, and my loaded baked potato soup calls for quite a bit of bacon, and so I thought I would just like double or triple it, have some for my family, give some to her family, and it would kind of be a win-win and get rid of some of the prep work, because that soup's actually super easy to make. It's just the bacon, actually, like cooking the bacon, that takes so long. I really like having pre-cooked bacon ready to go. It makes it easy.
What you got there?
I got, well, I don't want to show my address on the front, but I got a special package today.
Are you excited? Are you excited about this package?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Let's just say it's not something I ever thought would happen. Literally, like never. I did YouTube for 4 years and barely had like 15,000 subscribers. So no, I didn't think this would ever happen. Of course, it's fitting I'm opening it in the midst of cooking.
I was gonna say, when did it come in the mail? Is this planned?
No, it was not planned. It just came today. Okay.
Yeah. Oh baby, let's see.
Oh, I gotta take the plastic off. Oh, what else is in here? Oh, I got music and gum. What do you think about that?
It's pretty cool.
You can hang it on the wall. It's got hooks on the back.
I know, it's meant to be hung.
Well, most people's is like leaning on something. What do you think?
It's very pretty.
It's so pretty. This is like weirdly exciting. And you know what? It's all because of you guys. It's all because of the subscribers. If it wasn't for them, this would not have happened. I feel like
it's so clean. It's so clean I'm seeing my reflection in the mirror.
Oh, really? Where should I put it?
Well, I think now it's time to build you a space.
Yeah. I'll put it over here for right now.
Maybe it should just go in the kitchen.
How about that?
Maybe we should finish painting the wall.
I just need to touch it up. I'll hang it right there.
That is the Frugal Fit way.
Right? It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about geeking out about the silver play button, but it literally did come in the mail while I was recording the French toast and the bacon. So thank you guys so much. The credit truly all goes to you for wanting to hit the subscribe button and hanging out. So let's move into the granola making. This is my standard go-to granola recipe. I will leave that recipe down below. I got this recipe from my sister-in-law, Dave's sister's in-laws. Did you get that? Is it clear? And I loved it so much that it replaced my old granola recipe that I used first. This one does take quite a bit of coconut, so if you are not a coconut lover, you can leave it out and replace it with more oats, or don't use coconut oil, maybe use a different kind of oil. My previous granola recipe didn't use oil at all, which is kind of why I liked it, but I love the richness that the oil in this one gives you. So I'm pouring it on the pans. I usually did it into 3 sheet pans and then rotate it in the oven about 7 to 10 minutes each, stirring as we go. So while that's cooking, I decided to get moving on some mashed potatoes in my Instant Pot. This was going to be for dinner this night, and you'll kind of see that dinner in a different video that's coming up. It's just one of those ones that's taking like a week to film. But mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot, guys, I have not gone back to cooking them on the stove. So I filled my 6-quart Instant Pot to the top with Yukon Gold potatoes. And then to make them delicious, you need a lot of salt, a lot. And then I had 2 sticks of butter in there, quite a bit of half and half pepper, and an entire can of evaporated milk. And you keep tasting and you keep tasting. And if you're like, no, it's missing something, it needs more salt, I promise you. And that will soak up way more liquid than you think. So stir it, give it a moment, stir it, give it a moment, and then you'll have amazing mashed potatoes. Okay, I'm just about to put everything away, so I wanted to show you one last shot of the items I haven't put away yet. I have all of the French toast over here. The kids will probably eat this for breakfast for the next couple of days. All of the bacon that I cooked up for the soups that I'm making tomorrow for my neighbor. This is my 1 batch of granola, and you can really tell how big this guy is because it takes us a while to eat this actually. I would have doubled it, but I'm running really low on oats. And if you're gonna add dried fruit, now would be the time to do so. My 2 loaves of banana bread right here. I adore this huge Rubbermaid container. I use it all the time. I picked these up, I think I have 2 or 3, at a garage sale for $1 each. And then I looked online and they cost like $20 each on Amazon, which is crazy sauce. Anyway, oh, you see my eyes? I knew I shouldn't have attempted cutting onions without my onion goggles. Wow. Okay, let's, it's not that serious, Christine. Stop crying. Let me get some better lighting here. Okay, there we go. I thought we would move on. Dinner's over. Kitchen's cleaned up. Dishwasher's going from dinner. And I have more clean dishes drying over here. And everyone is downstairs watching a movie. And I'm wrapping up the last few things I am cooking for today. So right now on my stove, I'm putting together a double batch of my homemade lasagna sauce. Now, I don't make lasagna very often. It's not one of my favorite things because I had it too much during all of the years that I worked at Boy Scout camp. I worked at Boy Scout camp for 4 summers and we had lasagna once a week for the entire summer, like the frozen Stouffer's stuff. And I'm just like lasagnaed out, right? You can make lasagna however you want, but I really prefer this homemade sauce over like a jarred spaghetti sauce or something, which is a lot shorter, but this just tastes better. So mixing up a double batch, and then once they're done, I can freeze them. And so lasagna will come together really, really quickly in the future, in the few and far between times that I choose to make it. So I have 2 pounds of ground beef in here. I actually cooked 3 pounds, but I'm doing something else with the other 1 pound. And I'm going to be adding 2 chopped onions. Why I was crying. Okay, here we go. Oh no, these are big onions. Wow. I have a couple of strays here. Gotta get all these. Get all these. Come on, come on. Yes, okay. Okay, now I'm gonna go grab my garlic. We're gonna add that. Just like 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, not too much. Now I'm going to be adding 2 cans of this tomato puree. You could do diced tomatoes, like a mix of diced tomatoes and then tomato sauce, but this is what I have, so we're gonna be using these. And my garlic is in there. You see that? I just put it in. Here we go. Ooh. Swoosh a little water in that to get all that out. Okay, yes. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna do that. Let's do, I don't know, like a teaspoon. Oops, okay, a little more than a teaspoon. Parsley, and about ditto on the basil. So about, yeah, about like that. And then, oh, we can't forget to add our sugar just to cut some of the acidity. And just for fun, I'm gonna add a little something extra that you totally don't have to do, but I'm going to because, hey, this is my channel and I can do what I want. Okay, I added the sugar here and a little bit more parsley and basil. Now I'm gonna add some crushed red pepper flakes because they're so good. Give it a little, you know, a little zing. Because I did not use like hot Italian sausage. I just used ground beef in here. So the meat itself really does not have any flavor. And what's crazy is I actually don't add any salt to this. But after this all cooks down, I've found that I've never really had to add salt because between the Parmesan cheese and the ricotta cheese that you're using for the layers, plenty salty. So I'm gonna simmer this for about 45 minutes till everything is cooked and comes together and we are done. That's how easy it is. It just takes a while to simmer, that's all. Got my head off again, oh my gosh. Why do I make videos? What we're gonna do now is take the leftover mashed potatoes from dinner, the rest of the ground beef that I told you about, and we're gonna make a freezer meal really fast because I kind of already have everything. So I have one of my baking dishes, and this is a play on an Americanized shepherd's pie, right? I realize that the shepherd's pie with the cream of whatever soup and the mixed veggies or corn or whatever covered in mashed potatoes is not traditional shepherd's pie. I know. And my mom did it a little differently than Dave's mom. Truthfully, I'm sure everybody does it a little bit differently. Everybody's chili's a little different. Everybody's gumbo's a little different. They're just all different. So I have about 1 pound of ground beef that's already cooked. And this is seriously so easy. Because we have plenty of food to eat over the next couple days is why I'm making this a freezer meal. Otherwise, I would probably build it and stick it in the fridge for 2-3 days and then cook it later, but here we are. Let me just repeat. This is the way my mom made it. This is my mom's recipe. I don't know where she got it. She actually called it hamburger pie. If it looks gross to you, that's okay. You don't have to make this. This is just something I ate growing up a lot. 1 can of green beans. I did drain it. Okay, so there's no extra liquid. Actually doesn't look like very many green beans. 1 can of tomato condensed soup. Okay, I know. I told you it might look weird. But I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite things as a kid. I love this. And you can ask my mom in like later videos. Did Christine really like the hamburger pie? And she'll be like, heck yeah, she did. So yeah, that doesn't look appetizing at all. Does it? But this is coming from a kid who like hated Chef Boyardee stuff. I hated that stuff, but this I liked. Okay, a little bit of pepper in here. My mom is obsessed with pepper. I like pepper, but my mom likes pepper, if you know what I'm saying. Good amount of pepper. Okay, and we're just gonna kind of mix all that together, and that's our base layer. Oh, it even like sloshes unappetizing. Is ASMR still a thing? I don't know that I could get behind that. I don't particularly enjoy listening to really high def noises. I know some things that I like are not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. So what my mom does is she takes the mashed potatoes and mixes it with like a couple of eggs. So I'm gonna get 2 eggs. And I don't think I'm gonna use all of these potatoes, so we'll put some away. Like that. Oh, that's pretty good. Maybe a little more. This is a big container. Okay. So I'm gonna save these, and I'm just gonna eat these like tomorrow. 2 eggs into our mashed potatoes. And now remember, I heavily seasoned these potatoes. Lots of salt, lots of pepper, lots of butter and cream. They already taste good. So there's not a whole lot that needs to be done here. Or like nothing, just stirring the eggs in. And of course these potatoes are cool now, so you're not gonna end up with scrambled eggs, because that would be no good. It's kind of like when you add egg to ricotta for lasagna, it's a little like that. I'm not sure that I've ever shared my mom's hamburger pie on my channel before. It's definitely not gourmet, but you know what? Sometimes cheap old hot dog with some relish takes the cake, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be gourmet all the time. Yeah, that was a good amount of potatoes. It didn't look like a lot in this bowl, but this bowl is like really big. It was a little deceptive. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze from the pepper, like it's up in my nose now. I think I'm okay. All right, you spread out You're okay. I gotta tell you what I'm thinking about right now. Just spread out the potatoes, okay. You know how to do that. I'm thinking about my friend Jessica, who watches most of the videos. Hello, Jessica. And I know her husband, Billy, would like revolt if she tried to serve this. Her husband is like anti-casseroles of any kind, right? Except maybe lasagna. Does he like lasagna? He just despises casseroles. So he would not eat this. I can tell you that right now. Don't worry, Billy, it's not for you. Okay, there's my stuff. Now we're gonna go your traditional toppings. I have some shredded cheese. So my mom usually just did like cheddar cheese. And then you bake it in the oven, covered for about 30 minutes and take the foil off until the cheese was melted and you were done. And we're gonna add some bacon crumbles as well, just because bacon makes everything better. Change my mind. Who doesn't love cheese on the top of their casserole? That's what I'm saying. And then a little bit, like not too much, a little sprinkle of bacon. And I'm gonna top this with foil and stick it in the freezer. Don't forget to label it and write instructions, because even though you think you're gonna remember what's in your freezer, you won't. Done. Freezer meal, finished. Basically out of leftovers from like other stuff I was already doing. So yeah, we're gonna put that away. Very excited. I'm gonna wash my hands and then we'll move on to the last thing of the evening. I saw the pineapple and I realized I wanted to chop the pineapple so the kids would eat it tomorrow. If your fresh produce like fruits and veggies are already prepped, your kids will be way more likely to eat them, like way more. So I'm gonna chunk this up and stick it into these circular storage containers. You can get these off of Amazon. They're super, super cheap. They come in a lot of sizes. They have little ones like this, big ones like this. I use them all the time. This is how I chop a pineapple. Not saying this is the only way, this is just how I do it. Top and bottom off. Next comes the skin. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Oh, I love fresh pineapple. Okay, triggering question, are you ready for this? Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? People feel some kind of way about that. It's like cats, you either love it or you hate it. There's no in the middle. Canned pineapple, I'm just kind of meh. Fresh pineapple, absolutely on pizza. It's delicious. I had one recently that was like a barbecue chicken pizza with fresh pineapple and bacon. Oh yes, that was good. Here is how I like to do it after we're here. I like to quarter it like this. And then I take the core out, okay? Because this, can't really eat that. I mean, you could, but I don't know why you'd want to. But I do keep it because if you chop it up, you can put that into a smoothie. So I do totally keep it. And I do use it. You can slice it this way and then that way, like however big you want your slices. I want mine fairly small. So I think I'm gonna cut each one of these into 4. Sorry about the water. If you guys hear water, the dishwasher's going right now and it's kind of, when it drains, you hear it in the sink. It sounds a little weird. So my pieces are about this size. Oh my gosh, I love fresh pineapple. Check this out. I didn't taste fresh pineapple like this, that wasn't from a can, until I was 19 years old. I don't ever remember having fresh pineapple. I had canned pineapple all the time. Not fresh. And I tried fresh. It was when I worked at a restaurant and the bar has fresh pineapple for the fancy drinks. And they let me try some, I don't remember why. And my life changed in that instant. You know when you taste something as an adult and you're like, why have I not been eating this my whole life? That was fresh pineapple for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy. Okay, so I got 3/4 of that pineapple in that one. And I think I'm gonna go with the little guy for this last quarter. I do have one more pineapple over there, but I kind of want to save him for something special. I think I want to make a pineapple upside down cake with like fresh pineapple. So I ended up with a big one and a little one. Lids on those like that, and those will go into the fridge for tomorrow. My kids will probably eat all this in one day. The last thing that we are going to be making is a coconut lime cheesecake. Oh yeah, and we're gonna start with our graham crackers to make our graham cracker crust. And I need 2 cups of this stuff after it's shredded, so it's quite a bit. And some shredded coconut, yes. And I have to make it now because it has to cool and I won't be able to actually eat it until tomorrow. So we're gonna do it tonight. By the way, it's evening now. If I didn't mention that. What? I would angle the camera this way, but I'm trying to hide all these dirty dishes. Because let me tell you what, when you do this much cooking prep work for a video, you do a lot of freaking dishes. Can I tell you that? A lot. I actually had planned to make a couple of other things, but it's getting late now. It's 8 o'clock p.m. and all the kids are about to go to bed, and it's just not gonna happen. Is that, what do you think? This? Should I just see what that does? How many graham crackers does it take to make 2 cups? Who knows? Man, that squeal's funny. That's so funny. Okay, we're gonna measure in this guy. See how close we are. Oh, so close! Close but no cigar. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Okay, here we go. Okay, did we get it? I'm telling you, if you guys don't have a food processor, they're a great kitchen tool. I went a long time without having one. Mine's just my Ninja attachment. Okay. But my stepmom has a Cuisinart and it's amazing. So this recipe's out of this book, Savoring the Seasons with Our Best Bites. That's where it's coming from. So I'm gonna set it over here so I can see what the heck I'm doing. A little bit left over. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but we'll figure it out. 1/2 a cup of the coconut. And it does say to use the sweetened kind. That looks close-ish. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Wow. I don't have much of that. I need to get one of my boys to refill it from my bucket. Okay, 1, 2, like stack, because I bet I'm gonna need more than a 1/4 cup for the actual cheesecake. These are some of my favorite kitchen tools. Use them all the time. I probably have 20 of them. Okay. And they said to mix with a fork or your fingers. Hands are the best tools. So that's what I'm doing. And I get asked a lot why I use gloves when I cook, and the reasons are threefold.
The meaning of the box is threefold.
First of all, food safety issues, you know, touching food, touching your hair, you know. When you wear a glove, you make sure you're only touching the food, especially like when I work with meat and stuff. Number 2 is because I'm in the kitchen so much, I wash my hands all the time anyway. So if this saves me like 5 to 10 hand washes in a day, or whatever, that's less cracking on my hands, which is great. I don't really have another reason. I'm gonna put these in my springform pan that I double wrapped in foil, and we're gonna bake it at 350, which I've been preheating, for 5 minutes. What is it about that graham cracker crust? Because I know you guys are gonna ask where I got this measuring cup. My stepmom gave these to me. She loves blue. Does it say? Oh, Pier 1. That's where these are from. I have no idea how old these are. Could potentially not be available anymore, but that's where it came from. I'm just gonna refill this and we will continue with the cheesecake. Bosch is out once again, and we are going to mix up the filling portion of the cheesecake. 3 packages of cream cheese. I don't know about you guys, but in my area, Walmart has the cheapest cream cheese, no matter what, no matter the sales, no matter anything. It's 80 cents per container of cream cheese. Can't beat it. Can't beat it at Sam's Club, can't beat it at Winco. Even the Philadelphia brand on sale, like mega sale, never goes cheaper than $1, ever. So I'm fine with sticking with great value for my cheesecake. So these have been sitting out for several hours, so they are soft now. Crucial step. I don't know if my sister Lauren is watching this video, but she hates cream cheese in desserts. Lauren, don't make this. Which is funny because she likes it in non-dessert form. Like she'll have plain cream cheese on a bagel, or like cream cheese chicken enchiladas. Yeah, great. Cheesecake, barf. She won't do it. It's so funny. I don't understand it personally. I think cream cheese is good in everything. Well, not everything, but you know, most things. Are you guys sick of me yet? Look, I don't know how long this video is gonna end up being, but I started recording it 6.5 hours ago. This could potentially be my longest video. I don't know. I think my longest video to date is 30 minutes. Okay, here's what's funny about the video length thing. Some people really like the longer videos. You know, for some people, I like the longer videos too. I like to watch them while I do dishes or fold laundry. And so I actually don't mind the longer videos when I'm doing other things. I can't stand myself for that long. like editing my own video and I've been listening to myself talk for that long, you guys are saints. Listening to me yammer on for this long. Like to listen to myself drone on for a 20-minute video is about all I can handle of myself. And even that's pushing it. 10 to 15 is about perfect. 30, I don't know, man. I don't know. 1 cup of sugar. Okay, 1 dose. I have my whisk attachments in here and until it's like super smooth. Okay, next up is 3 eggs. Okay, I need some lime zest, so I'm actually gonna run out to my outside fridge and grab my limes so I can zest them and juice them. Add my eggs 1 at a time to this. It is super, super smooth and shiny. And I'm kind of working on my limes. Just have 2 tablespoons of lime zest. Wow. And an entire half a cup of lime juice. And I have 2 more limes here. I have more outside, but hopefully 4 is enough. I've already done 2. I'm gonna work on the other 2 with my microplane and this juicer, which this thing I didn't know I needed until I have. This is like one of my favorite things ever. And because I've been using so much citrus in my cooking and in my drinks, I put lime a lot in my water. So really, really enjoying it right now. I'm gonna continue on that while these mix, and then we put everything together. I would highly recommend stopping your mixer while you add the eggs. I may or may not have had a situation where I let it run while adding an egg and dropped the shell in. Let me tell you what happens when you drop a shell in while it's running. You have crunchy cheesecake.
If it's silent in dismay, it won't break this feeling down. If I conquer this my way, I'd devour, I'd surround. If it hurts you.
If you guys have never made cheesecake, it's actually really easy to do. You just have to have some patience for it, because you can't eat it right away. It's hard for me because I'm not patient, but I do have a chocolate bar in the fridge with some toffee and gratitude in case I need it. Vanilla, I didn't get the vanilla. Vanilla, that's about right, I guess. Look how much lime zest that is, that's a lot. This should be really limey, which is great. I love lime. And lime juice, here we go. A whole half a cup of fresh squeezed. Stir to combine. Wow, it is gorgeous. Time to pour into our crust. Oh. Do you guys lick the beaters? I'll be honest, I'm a beater licker for sure. I hope this is the right size springform pan, because the last cheesecake I made, I had a bigger springform pan, which I thought was the right one, and then it was too big to do a water bath in, which didn't work. Wow, that's really full. Okay, this might be too small, I don't know. It's really a shame you guys can't smell this. Now we are at the water bath stage. Fingers crossed it fits into this pan. Last time I made the cheesecake, I didn't do the water bath because it didn't fit. Fingers crossed! Yes! Yes! It fits, barely. Don't mind that, I'm trying to get hot water. Once you're here, put this into your oven, and then you're going to pour the hot water into this pan, but not that pan. Bake. I'm going to bake for 75 minutes, and then we will pull it out and hopefully it's finished. We will make the topping, I guess, tomorrow. So I'm gonna bake this and I'll see you guys in the morning. The cheesecake has chilled and it is now time to make the topping. So I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream in my KitchenAid, which I'm still figuring out. And we are going to whisk this until soft peaks form. All right, do your thing. Come on, KitchenAid, make it work. Here comes the powdered sugar. Vanilla. Coconut extract. Got something on your face there, man. Does that taste okay?
I like the crust.
You were nervous about the coconut. Did you change your mind?
No. I did. I did change my mind.
Tyler, get your face out of the background. He's like a floating head.
If I would offer anything, it would be to add more, what's it called? Coconuts.
We was supposed to have more coconut. We had a problem. We had a problem in the kitchen. What are you doing?
What is up with that?
What are you doing?
It's not good.
So, I'm guessing you don't like it very much.
You need to stop cooking this kind of stuff.
Why?
Because I can't stop eating it. I'm up at least 5 pounds.
Ditto. Or more. Is it okay? Pretty good?
It's really good.
So like, it's a winner.
Oh my gosh.
I guess anytime you're two-fisting your dinner or dessert, it's a winner.
It's so good.
That is going to wrap up this extremely long video and meal prep food cooking thing that we did. I was gonna call it a day, but it did span 2 days. So I would recommend making the cheesecake and the banana bread. It's always a winner. And if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up maybe. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I apologize this was so long, and I will see you in the next video.